Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sky Factory 3. At the end of the last episode, I said that I was going to break down a bunch of the cobblestone that we got from our cobblestone generators over here into dust, and I have been busy at work. I even took the liberty of sieving it all. Let's see what we got here. We have almost 3 stacks of iron ore pieces, which will come out to almost 48 pieces of iron. Over 2 stacks of gunpowder, a little bit over a stack of glowstone, a bunch of gold, and most importantly, we have 35 redstone, and that's going to be really helpful. So let's go ahead and get these crafted up so that we can get these smelting. Let's put it in this furnace. I smelted up a little bit of lead just because I needed to smelt something. I want to finish off a piece of charcoal, trying to be efficient here. And let's see what we got here. So we're definitely getting here. I don't know that I've ever used nickel for anything. I'm not really sure what that's used for. Block of nickel, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to do a whole lot. Maybe it's good for casting and tinkers, but in the meantime, we need some stone and some glass. Mentioned at the end of the last episode that we were going to be crafting some transfer pipes, so let's go ahead and craft some of those. And then we're also going to need some transfer nodes. So we need some chests and some more smooth stone. So let's grab a couple chests, a little bit of wood. Let's just make up a few more chests there, and we'll put that in there. Let's do one more of those. So one of the first things I want to do is get some automatic dirt creation going. We definitely don't need all these barrels anymore. So let's see. Oh, I got them all back. That's nice. So I'm going to put down, just put these in the same spot. I'm going to put down a chest here. And then put down, let me see. Put down just one of these barrels for now. That's going to be in a bad spot, actually. Let me move that. I'm not going to be able to get underneath that to put the transfer node on there if I put it there. So let's just put this here. Even that might be tough, but I can use a bucket, I guess. Let me grab a bucket here. Where are my buckets? Here they are. Bucket, a little bit of water. And when I do this, I always like to make sure that I have a confined area for the water to be in so that it's not flowing in either any direction at all. And let's just go down here. Easy peasy. So we've got that, and let's grab some of our transfer pipes here. So now that's gonna pull, that should pull everything out of there. And let's take a chest, put a couple double chests here, put a transfer node. Oh, that's in the way. Don't need that in there anymore. I'm gonna put another one of these transfer nodes down here. Pipe coming out the back, and now this should fill automatically, but let's double check. I got a bunch of sawed wood chippings in here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to happen. Yeah, so that's working well. Not super fast, but transfer node's not super fast. But that'll just automatically produce dirt for us, so we don't really have to worry about making dirt anymore. I'm going to transfer over the rest of those items. I'll do that in a little bit. The other thing I want to do, oh, and I do actually want to put down, let's put down another slab here, just in case, just so we don't have to ever worry about that getting full of water. Okay, so that should be that taken care of. That'll automatically produce dirt. And the other thing I want to start looking into is some automatic ore creation. And so for that, I think we're going to use a crusher and some auto hammers and some auto sieves. So for a crusher, oh, I can't spell. We need the extra utilities 2 crusher. We need 6 iron for 1, plus 2 more for the pistons, plus 1 for each one for the machine blocks. So that's, if we made, say let's make 4 crushers, that would be 4 there, and then 32, so that would be 36 of our iron just to make 4 crushers. So I think I might go ahead and make 1 or 2, probably 2, and then we could also use an auto hammer, which does require some diamonds, so I'd have to figure out how to get some diamonds going, and possibly also then we would also be using auto sieves, which don't take any diamonds, I don't think, but take a lot of iron, 2 blocks of iron per, so 20 total. So we're gonna look into some of that, and I'm gonna decide which way to go there. Do a little bit of research and see if there's any other way, because that's how I've done it on all of my previous worlds, and I want to see if there's maybe a little bit more interesting way to do that. And just for a little sense of how much we got, or how much of this we got, how much dust it took to get all of this, it was probably about half of what's in this chest now. I did all of that. And then in that time and a little bit since, this is all the stuff that's come in. So cobblestone generation is not going to be an issue for a while, until we get into some of the more heavily automated things. So, all right, I am going to take a look into some of this ore generation stuff like I mentioned, and I will get back to you in the next clip. Alright, so I've done some thinking, and I think I've decided what we're going to do to get this automation started. I had 43 iron when I started, and I made a couple iron blocks, and I've come up with a system that's going to use 41 iron to start with. So, first thing we're going to make is a furnace generator, and for that we need some iron plates, and for that we need an engineer's hammer, so we're going to craft up one of those. And then we need 4 iron plates. So we got those there. And then should have everything else I need. Most expensive thing here, I mean, it's 7 iron and then a redstone block. So these aren't super cheap for early game. And then we need 1 crusher. And I made up, and for that we need some machine blocks. So we'll make 1 of those. And there's a crusher. And then we're going to make an auto sieve. And got that done. So that leaves us with 2 iron, but with these things here, we should be able to get everything that we need. So I'm going to grab the transfer pipes and transfer nodes, and we're going to go ahead and make just a stone pick here. I'm going to grab one of these cobblestone generators, hopefully. Oh no, that's a pain. Luckily these are fairly easy to make. I got a bunch of lava here, so it's not super expensive anymore. It's just kind of annoying to lose stuff you don't need to. So I'm just gonna craft one rather than risk losing another one. I have all the stuff here. Okay, so let's make this little area here. So I'm just going to put down me see here. Let me grab a few slabs. I want to extend this platform just a little bit. Here. And I grab a builder's wand too. So I'll just make this platform a little bit bigger. And I'm going to put down cobblestone generator up on top of this block. Oh, what? What happened to my cobblestone generator? That's weird. Okay. I guess I'll make another one. That's really strange, a little unfortunate, but luckily at this point it's not really nothing too serious. Alright, well let's hope that doesn't happen again. So put that in here. Oh, it's back. Okay. Well, put that back there for now. And I'm gonna sleep just so, I don't really need to. Okay, so we have furnace generator. We'll put that here. And then next to that, we're gonna put the crusher and the sieve. And we're gonna get us a little bit of water, and I'll sleep when I'm over here. Just because I think these blocks here can spawn mobs, so I don't want to risk that. I need to get my buckets back from here. And I need a bucket so that I can drop down here. To put the transfer node on the bottom of the cobblestone generator. Oh, I'm changing my mind already. Actually, we're going to put that on the back, and then we'll put this one here. And then need to put the transfer pipes in. So that's already filling up with cobblestone. And now we just need to get something to put in here. And I don't know that I have any more. Just grab half of that. Make up a little bit more charcoal while we're at it. We'll put that in there. And that should automatically have started generating some RF. And then I'm actually going to pick this guy up for a second because I want to make dust here, and so I want to automatically feed this back in here. So this is going to pick up gravel, and then it'll try to put it back inside, but it's not able to until all of this cobblestone is gone, which I realize now won't work if we're using a cobblestone generator. Let me look here. So, crusher. Yeah, don't have enough for that. Well, in the meantime, it'll at least make us some. This system is at least going to make gravel for us, and then we can manually stop the cobblestone coming in and put in some gravel when we need it, and that way it'll at least save us a step. And as we get some more iron here, we can further automate this. So in the meantime, I'm just going to put down a chest here, and we'll put down this and transfer pipe. And we'll let the, oh, that's annoying. Evidently this is a solid block and you can't open a chest with something underneath it. So we'll just let that flow into there. This also sometimes produces sand, so that's nice. And this is going okay. So I will go ahead and put I'll leave the autosieve off actually. I changed my mind. So we're gonna let this go for a while, and then once it has a pretty decent amount of gravel and sand in there, I'll pull that out and I'll break this off and make it start feeding it the gravel to turn into the rest of the sand. And then we will probably manually hammer it, just because I don't really want to spend a lot of time with the manually doing it. It just takes so long. The dirt automation here is going pretty well. We got 44 dirt in there and haven't used too much of this. I did spend a bunch of time getting a bunch more wood because we were starting to run low and I just didn't want to have to worry about it again. We'll pull this out. All right, and this cobblestone is almost all full, so I might go ahead and put in another set of chests here. Not that we really need a bunch of cobblestone, but it's kind of nice to not have to worry about it, at least for a while. So I'll just put that down there, and that'll start filling that up automatically from over here. And all right, I'm going to call it there for now, and once I have a bit more gravel here and start getting this a little bit more automated, we'll get back to you. So I decided to put the auto sieve back in, and I'm having it sift up gravel, because sifting gravel here will give us, doing it with an iron mesh, will give us iron, gold, lead, nickel, diamonds, 1% chance on diamonds, but still something, lapis, and coal, which are all things that we need. It's not getting us any redstone for now, but we will upgrade that later. And then eventually we'll use a diamond stuff and mesh so we can start getting emeralds too. But that's giving us iron, and then the iron will let us expand this system, and iron is the main thing that we're lacking right now. Iron, and we are low on redstone too, but as you can see, we already have 3 diamonds, so that's good. We also are getting aluminum, which we're going to need for crafting, making a mob farm eventually. And we're also getting iron. I already smelted up some of it, and I used some of it to make a second crusher because this was not producing enough gravel for this to be totally full. It is now, and it's starting to produce some overflow. So yeah, once we are starting to get this a little bit expanded, I like to get some more crushers and then some of the auto hammers and stuff in. So it's good we're getting some of these diamonds. And then, yeah, it would be good to get a mob farm going so that we can get some start getting some ender pearls, because we're going to need ender pearls to make item conduits, which are a huge upgrade over the current transfer pipe system that we have going on over here. But for that we need pulsating iron nuggets, which we need pulsating iron, which we get from an alloy smelter. And to get an alloy smelter we also need a bunch more iron. So we need 4 there, 7 there, that's 11. Then machine chassis means a bunch, and the basic capacitors aren't too bad. But we're gonna need to get some Tinker's smeltery stuff going too, to get some. Might need that for copper, I'm not sure. Oh no, we get copper from the sifter, so we should be good there at least to start with. But I am going to get a Tinker smeltery running eventually, but for now at least, not worrying about it too much, trying to avoid it, just because it's it's a pain to get, because we need seared bricks for that, and that takes grout, which is a lot of gravel, sand, and clay, which are all things that we will eventually have in a large quantity from this sort of hammering, crushing operation that we've got going on over here. So in the meantime, though, we good to get. We'll do as much as we can before we have to do that. I'm smelting up some more charcoal because this furnace generator is starting to run low on fuel. It would be nice. I may look into. Actually, I should just be able to set. Let me look into item filters here. Oh, item filters relatively cheap, and will give us a little bit of automation. So we'll make one of those real quick. Item filter. And then we'll put that into a transfer node that we'll put here. Item filter, and then we're gonna filter out the coal. And so only, oh, that's, I'm sorry, that's not how this item filter works in this mod. So we'll right click that. We're going to whitelist coal and put that back in and pull that out. And I took all the coal out, so that's not working. But if you put that in there, you can see there's coal in there. So that will automatically fill up the furnace generator. And I'm not sure if this system is going to produce enough coal to keep that running full time, but it will definitely help. And then I can just throw a bunch of charcoal into this chest, which I'm smelting up here. I can just throw this charcoal in here, and it will automatically. Well, I guess it won't. I need to take the transfer node out. Or this, the filter, and I'm going to add coal, or charcoal, and I'm also going to add the mini charcoal here, just might as well. And we'll just throw all that back in there. And put this item filter back in there, and it's going to start pulling that stuff out again properly. So that should keep us good on RF for at least while we have such a small operation. Eventually we'll be using probably lava generators just as a, it's fairly easy to get. Copper's not too bad. Machine frames aren't too bad. The Electrum is a bit of a pain. For that we need to cast it from molten Electrum, which is silver, equal parts silver and gold, which we are getting from this system. We have some silver ore there, so that's not too bad, but it would be good to have. Eventually I want to use solar panels for our power through the solar, which mod is it? The Solar Flux Reborn mod. They're a bit of a pain to craft, but once you get it going, they really crank out the power. Once you get up into the higher, like the solar panel 6, these really crank it out. In the meantime, though, we might try, that looks complicated. Maybe the extra utilities too won't be too bad. Once we get some ender pearls, we can make some of these. I'm not sure exactly how much. Oh no, that gives grid power. So for generating RF, I think solar panels are the way to go. Once we get up to the tier 6, they produce 2048 RF per tick, which is quite a bit. So I think we might try making one of these magmatic generators and see how that goes. I haven't played with this at all, but I think if we make a furnace generator here, and then we need a bucket of lava. Oh, and we need another piece of redstone. I'm down to 1 because I made some of these first cables, and because I wanted to put this second crusher where this is, but it turns out that these first cables don't seem to attach to the, at least the Mark 1 furnace generator, which is strange because they do attach to the Mark 1 and Mark 2 lava generators. I've done that in another world, so that seems really strange to me. but I'm not sure why that is. So it looks like I need another piece of redstone. I don't have any here. So I'm going to take this sand that we generated as a byproduct, and I'll just put that down, crush that into dust manually. And I don't have a 1 on me, I'll just put this down. So I will see if I can get a piece of redstone real quick, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I've got another couple pieces of redstone here, and I grabbed some gold. So we'll make this magmatic generator. And then I need to make some transfer nodes, but for fluids here. And for that I need another piece of redstone and a bucket, but that's no problem. And then I'm going to use that on these crucibles and try to pull out the lava into the magmatic generator and see how that does for keeping our simple first machines here running. Okay, so I've got my other piece of redstone, and so I'll make some of these transfer node fluids and put these down here just for now, and take the transfer pipes. I'll move this around later once I figure out a little bit better where some things are going to go. And just put this down here. And that's producing a pretty decent amount of RF. And we can also automate putting cobblestone in here. We just take one of these cobblestone generators. See if I can just break this chest so that I can hover over it a little bit better so I don't lose it again. Here we go. We take one of these cobblestone generators and we'll put that down here. And then put transfer node there and some pipes. So now that should automatically be, just look at the crucible here. Yeah, that's completely full of solid cobblestone. And this one should, yep, there it goes. And this one is completely full of lava, which is four buckets worth of lava in there. And that's producing RF, I think, a lot faster than this thing is. So I want to see if these first cables here attach to this, which looks like it does, so that's great. So in the meantime, before we get into some more serious power generation, I think we'll just use these magmatic generators. They're a little bit cheaper and easier to craft than the lava generators from Simple Generators, because these take this electrum and a bunch of iron there, whereas the magmatic generators, as we just crafted it, takes a little bit of redstone but not a full block, and it's not too bad. It takes 4 redstone, 8 total, but we get a lot of the machine blocks. So yeah, I'm gonna rearrange some things down here and try and get everything a little bit more organized. See how much iron we've accrued. We're up to a good little bit here. Again, we're up to 15 once I get this smelted up, which isn't too bad. I'm gonna throw this back in here. So as soon as we can get an auto hammer, we have enough diamonds, we're up to 4. Then we can start, instead of having, we can get some more of these crushers, and or instead of having 2 crushers making gravel, we can have 1 crusher make gravel, 1 make sand, and then put it into the auto hammer. That'll make dust, and we can start getting some more redstone, which would be good because we are running low on that. All right, guys, I just checked the time on this episode, and it looks like it's time for me to wrap things up. So thank you very much for tuning in to this second episode of Sky Factory 3. I had a lot of fun in this episode getting some stuff automated. In the next episode, I think we're going to work on getting that mob farm that I mentioned up and running. So be sure to tune into that. If you liked the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you really like the video and want to see some more, subscribe. That would be fantastic. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.